back with another episode of the WFNSA podcast, which we still haven't named yet. And for a reminder for those who haven't tuned into the first one, this podcast is really meant to highlight the diverse experiences of nursing students across our program who aren't necessarily involved with the regular student government side of things. Instead, we are interviewing guest students that have other focuses, such as in varsity sports, entrepreneurship, scientific research, and many other cool things. So with that, can our guest for today please introduce yourself now?
Yeah, hi, I'm Kristina. I'm a first year CTS student. I'm really excited to be on this podcast, so thank you for the honor of being here. Why don't we just get into it?
Sure, yeah. So Kristina, I kind of invited you on this podcast today because I knew you were originally a lot involved with medical research and things like that. And I think you were part of the medical sciences program at Western, is that correct?
I was for my first 2 years.
Okay, cool. So I also know that you were very involved with a club called UAEM. Could you kind of explain to the audience what UAEM is, what you guys do, and how you kind of got involved with it?
Of course. So UAEM is basically the University's Allied for Essential Medicines. We're a huge organization spreading around 6 continents, 20 countries, so basically 100 chapters. And I'm the co-president of the Western chapter. And we want to spread awareness about neglected diseases. We are really on the drug prices, so we are trying to reduce how expensive they are. So basically,
and for the States, that's going to be a huge issue too, right? So that's why it's such a U.S.-centric organization.
Exactly. Yeah. All about drug accessibility and affordability,
Okay, and could you kind of tell us, Kristina, how you got started with the organization and worked your way up to the position you are now?
Of course. So I first started off as a general member. I was like that for 2 years, and I was too scared to really run for VP, and how that happens, you get that fear of rejection. But no, I was really committed. I showed up a lot to all the meetings, and I spoke with I reached out to a lot of the VPs and the president, and that's really how you get noticed and
more
you get
knowledge.
hired.
Exactly, yeah.
So after that, we went to the conference, and I spoke with the president, and she wanted me to run for president next year, and I said, I'll go for it. Hopefully the passion is enough to really run it.
Okay, that sounds awesome. So you speak of a conference here. Could you kind of tell us more about what this conference is?
Of course. Last March we went to a conference in Baltimore at Johns Hopkins University.
Where is Baltimore? I'm not that
DC.
DC?
Yeah.
Wait, so Washington State?
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay, awesome.
Yeah. And
Johns Hopkins University, you said? Isn't that that's a world-renowned research hospital
huge
university?
and research university, really big, really pretty.
Yeah.
It was 3 days, and we had speakers talking about they're either in law. We had medical professionals talk to us about even just working in hospitals and having the dual thing of working your everyday at the hospital, and then on the side you're doing these big things and trying to advocate for important things like drug accessibility and affordability.
Okay. And how kind of does everyone get to go for a chapter, or do they send a couple people? And I assume this is a UAEM general thing, right?
Yeah. No, actually we wanted our members, even our general members, to show up, so we actually invited everyone from our chapter, and a lot of us did come. Obviously, some people had exams, so they couldn't, but we had a huge show in Baltimore, and it was really fun.
So with that, and I do know that the School of Nursing itself is trying to incorporate more research aspects into the undergraduate curriculum. But from a student's perspective, Kristina, I would really like to hear, how you got started with your research, what steps you kind of took to reach out to different profs, and really, most importantly, how did you muster up the courage really to step out of this zone?
Of course, yeah. So let's just start. In my first year, I reached out to kind of cold emails.
Okay, yeah.
I kind of reached out to PhD students, actually. I had heard that they're much easier to confront if you're too scared to talk to the prof, but they also have ongoing research, and they have their own projects for their own thesis. So I emailed a bunch, and I got one response from an autism study, and really I got through the interview stage, and then suddenly I started working with them, and we really like focus on like studying and measuring kind of sensor perception, like how they perceive different senses, and then also hypersensitivity to certain stimuli. And yeah, so I really, when I emailed the PhD student at first, I like mentioned that I was a first year, but I was really open to help in any capacity that I could. That gives them like a lot of like a broad and large kind of range of things that they could give me as in terms of tasks. And if you're really specific, you only want to do like, I don't know, like wet lab research.
Closing your doors for you,
really.
Right.
So I left it open, and I also asked to meet in person. Because I have sometimes, I feel like maybe you don't really express yourself as well in maybe emails and like written texts, but I know that in person, like I usually sound very passionate. I usually sound better like in person.
You like to what's it called? Showcase your skills a bit better in person. Yeah.
So I think that really helped even like make me feel like calmer and like easier to talk to, and they love that. Like they love that you're able to communicate and you're able to express things, and it shows that you really want to work with them. I think that's what they're looking for.
And after getting that valuable experience, how did you kind of progress to the next step and really start reaching out, working with profs directly as well?
Yeah, so I actually talked to profs like after lectures, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of them
building those like interpersonal relationships that just shows that you are interested in their work and not just the content that they're assigned to teach.
Exactly, because like as much as like they're probably like they're teaching the content because they know it really well, but they usually have something that they're very passionate of, and it's not really what they exactly teach. So especially in first year, like it's very basic, I think, like biology, but they have some really interesting research going on. So really just talking to them, and that's kind of how how you can find PhD students, because they have PhD students working with them and they have master's students working with them. So really good. And you can always ask ask them to be like a mentor, like even just going up and using them as a mentor.
Well, that's awesome to hear. For everyone watching, so if you've probably heard a couple of these names and what they do, Dr. Abe, Dr. Ryan Chang, Dr. Candidate Ryan Chang, but also a lot of other profs in our nursing program. Yes, they do teach courses, but they also have a myriad of other research topics that they're working on, such as like homelessness research, informatics, that's a huge one, wound care, pain assessments, things like that. So as you said, Kristina, right, these profs, yes, they are teaching this content that is for our undergraduate education, but they also have a very diverse range of interests that they would love to share with you if you share similar interests, and maybe that's also a possible way to get into research as well.
Yeah, and you can also learn from them too, like even things that they're passionate about, maybe you don't even know. Maybe you have like you're still in your first year or second year and you don't really know all that much, so you're actually basically like informing yourself, and that's an important part of nursing, as you said earlier.
Yeah, okay.
Last year I got really interested in preeclampsia.
Preeclampsia, okay.
Basically it's elevated high blood pressure in women who are who are pregnant, and it can obviously hurt both the mother and the baby, and can lead. It's a huge source of mortality and like maternal and neonatal mortality.
Kind of walk us through what is like I know this podcast probably wasn't very physiology related, but walk us through how that happens. How does preeclampsia develop in pregnant women?
That's the thing. So we actually don't know how it's caused, and that's really why that like really sparked my interest. I was like, how do we not know what's causing this? How do we, and why there's so many there's so many people who have preeclampsia, but we just don't know numbers either. Yeah, and of course, like you've probably heard that.
And a lot of it probably goes unnoticed, right?
Yes, exactly. Like a huge thing is it's like a health disparity that African women have higher blood pressure than your every other woman, and so in Africa, you can imagine the rates of preeclampsia. We just don't know the numbers.
So right now, basically, you're saying that preeclampsia is a known condition, but there's not a lot of research going on to what causes it, the actual numbers being affected by it. So you can almost say that it's a very severe crisis, kind of just like around pregnancy right now.
Yeah, it's huge. So that's what I'm working on.
And what exactly are you researching towards in preeclampsia? Like the more of the physiology side of things, or more of the treatment side of things, or the number side of things?
I'm actually trying to work currently on the placenta. I've heard a lot about again, also the placenta is also somewhat unknown. There's still so much to uncover about it, and especially that maternal and fetal connection, that very intimate connection. So I've actually I've sent out emails to a lot of labs to even just to work with them and kind of study that more in depth. So that's something to come very soon.
So, Kristina, kind of wrapping up here, I wanted to ask you, how do you think your diverse experiences in your first 2 years of your undergrad, combined with the variety of research you'll do, how do you think that will help make you a better nurse in practice during your placements? And also, what are your plans for your future career as well?
Of course. My plans really, I really want to be a pediatric nurse. So I definitely think that the research with like children with autism that really helped me like learn how really to speak to them, because it's really, you can't just speak like you talk to like an adult. Like it's really like, it's careful and it's like really with intention. So I think that definitely will help me in my future career. Even like just doing research in general. Like I really want to be a kind of nurse that is very informed on things that are happening, even like new research and new drugs. I want to be like that, like someone that I can even look up to myself, and like even like even just as a nurse, you're supposed to also be an educator for your clients
of course,
as well.
Yes.
So I also want to be able to like educate them if I can with the stuff that I know, with the knowledge I know.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like you really want to be a trailblazer almost in various aspects of your practice, right? To combine the theory along with the practice and really to deliver the best care and education for your future clients. Okay, so also another fun fact there, Kristina, we lived in the same hall in first year, didn't we?
Yeah.
In London Hall. I guess that's where we really we follow each other on Instagram.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk in first year, but I also following your Instagram. I also know that you do a lot of things with an organization called Borderless Dance. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Could you kind of explain to us what this group is and all the cool things that you guys do?
Of course. So Borderless Dance is London's first multicultural dance studio. We basically perform for a week.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you've probably seen us.
Like, so you were like on the O Week main stage?
Yeah, doing Global
Wow.
Village. Yeah,
Okay.
2 years now.
2 years, okay, yeah, and I know that. So you do like Latin dance, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Latin dance, and but like I also know that Borderless, like a lot of my friends, they do like what was it like Bollywood as well.
Yeah.
So like really, like it seems like it's like a very like diverse group of people, and you guys are just spreading joy, spreading happiness, spreading your mission for like art. So that's awesome, right?
Oh yeah. I really love it. Like we have so many. We have obviously the South Asian team. We have hip hop, K-pop, Chinese folk, and then the Latin. Where I'm an instructor. So
you're an instructor. Yeah. And have you like always danced like your whole life, or?
Actually, no. I actually like as a kid I danced like the traditional like ballet, jazz, tap, but I didn't really connect with it. My mom actually put me into something that would really help me connect with my like Latin heritage.
Yeah.
And that's when I fell in love with like salsa, bachata, merengue, like all those. I really loved the energy, and it really, I think the person I am today is really thanks to the dance and that confidence.
Wow.
Like it really makes you an outgoing person.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's awesome to hear. What I guess like again, what would be like some advice for like reaching out of your comfort zone and joining something like Borderless or any other club for that matter?
Yeah, I mean at least for like dance, like you don't know if you like it unless you try it, right? So obviously like trying, and this is for all aspects of things, you need to try it before you can like I guess like kind of stay away from it or like have an opinion on it. I really think if you just put yourself out there and you try, what's the worst that can happen, right?
So Kristina, thank you again for coming on to our podcast today.
Of course.
By wrapping this up, I really want, do you have any like final words of encouragement, advice, wisdom that you want to share with our students here?
Of course, I would say definitely like reach out to people, reach out to PhD students, master students, professors, even your own peers in like nursing. Making those like that collaboration that those are really essential in nursing, and I think they're so important. I also think you should all stay very curious. I think staying curious will allow you to kind of love learning and love to inform yourself, and honestly, that'll make you the best nurse you can possibly be.
Of course, yeah. Being curious, it's a drive that I constantly hold myself to as well. And I think that it's really a good way to put yourself again out of your comfort zone, to reach out to things that you might have not done about before, and really what separates you from other students that are honestly say competitors as well, right? So yeah, and final thing I wanted to ask, any exciting plans for UAEM this year? Any other conferences, poster board, research conference, things like that? What are the things you have good planned right now?
Yeah, we're trying to do this clinical trial report card. So a huge issue is like clinical trial transparency. A lot of drugs have like this research and like the methods, and they're lacking results. They have no results, and they're even posted on the clinical trials like .gov like website. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to pinpoint those and then actually report them, so that we get results. Because imagine you're a parent, you're trying to get a drug for your kid, and you're looking at this clinical trial, and there's no results. So you can't use the drug, and you can't help your kids. So really, that's what we want to try getting into. And also we are hoping to do a global health case competition.
Wow,
Yeah,
awesome. You know what? I might hit you up again. We might have to work on a collab sometime for an event this year.
Amazing idea.
Yeah. So with that, I think we come to the end of our topics here. Thank you again, Kristina, for joining us and sharing your ideas with us. This is the second episode of the WFNSA podcast series, where we interview nursing students who aren't necessarily related or involved with student government, but more of other extracurriculars. Again, still don't have a title for this series yet, but we're still working on that. Actually, that's a lie. I've not been working on it. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah.
Adios.